Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Edwin Edebiri, and I am the Chief Happiness Officer with the I Am Happy Project and also the Happy Neighborhood Project. I do this call every Monday morning to give you a jump start on the week. I hear about all the negative stuff that happen on Monday morning, so we have to counter all of that. And that's what this call is about. And today, folks, I'm going to also talk about a topic that is really central to that. And I'm going to talk about your brain and happiness. Now, I'm not going to go into all the neuroscientist part or the brain function, all the heavy-duty one that you got to learn. I just want to keep it as simple as possible. But here is something that is obvious to everybody, and if it's not, you can just Google it, okay? That the brain is massive. Okay, yes, it is small because it's in your head, but it has like 100 billion neutrons. That's a lot of neutrons, firing different angles all the time and working together most of the time in harmony to get you through your day-to-day activity. Now, if we go back a little bit and way back, and I'm talking back to our ancestors, we can understand why the brain was programmed negatively. Why? Because they had to survive very harsh conditions. So the brain evolved, into what scientists call negativity bias. That is a rapidly turned negative experience into neutral situation. It has to do that. That was survival mechanism. Now, even though we have been removed from those very harsh reality, now, let me take that back. Some people might think we are even in a very harsh reality right now. but no, we are not struggling to survive between the lions and the elephants and the kangaroo and all of those stuff anymore, although there are those form of, people like that, around us. But the bottom line is this: it's not really as harsh to put our brain in a negativity neutral anymore. Now let me give an example of something that will help to put this in proper perspective so that you can kind of see, how your brain and happiness really work. Back in 94 when I wrote my first book, it was on networking, okay? And I started to study because I actually would take people out on the street, especially folks who say they are very shy. I would take them out into a networking situation, and they've never been before, and they will not go because they are scared, they are shy, they don't think anybody will talk to them or this kind of stuff. So I started to help them out and break through that barrier, and over time they did, and they were very successful networker after that. One of the things that occurred to me, though, is that as we grow up as little kids, our parents teach us not to talk to strangers. And they embed it into our subconscious mind. And if we learn well, which we have to learn well, we become very good at it. And so when we see strangers, we stay and mind our own business. Now, my observation was, they did that back in Nigeria where I come from. My mom did it to me. I'm sure your mom did it to you. Your father maybe did it to you. Whatever, any part of the world, because sometimes adults take advantage of little ones, so they were protecting us. But when we become of age, they never one day say, hey, you know what, before you go out to the world, remember now you have to learn to talk to strangers. They never did that. We are now on our own. We have to reprogram our brain for all those years of serious programming. Folks, that's what happened with happiness. Because our ancestors had to survive, they had to set negativity as their default position. Today, folks, we have to retrain ourselves. This is why I am pioneering happiness as a skill. We have to change that. We have to make happiness our default position, and it starts with our brain. Everybody knows this. If you're positive, you are a happier person. If you're negative, you are more unhappy. There is no argument about that. So the question then is, why would anybody purposely be negative? Why would they purposely be unhappy? It's because they never overcome their ancestral bias. Now, the scientists tell us there are two major parts of the brain. There is the reptilian part and the mammalian part. Again, I'm not going to go into the details, but the mammalian part has something to do with our emotions. And we can retrain that. We can rewire that. Folks, every time I come here and share something that can help you be happy, I don't want you to take my word for it. I don't want to be a know-it-all. I want to spur up an opportunity for you to go take some time and learn. And here is another thing that I have found out about happiness. And I know this now because I've spent a good part of the last 8 years totally focusing on happiness. I've interviewed over 1,000 people on the subject. Most people take happiness for granted. They don't want to put in any effort to learn anything that can help them be happier. And yet, they don't like being unhappy. That's just most people, folks. If you take the time to learn some very basic skills, like gratitude, like going out and volunteering, like reframing your situation, like being more positive. Folks, those are very simple skills you can learn. You will become a happier human being. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So let's go back to the brain. What are some of the very simple things that you can do with the brain? They say exercise. You know, if you just go out and exercise, I know most people think exercise is for you to lose weight. No, it also causes your brain to secrete that dopamine that we all know helps us to be happier. So if you are not happy and you are at work right now or you are at home, wherever you are, take some time out because your happiness is more important than whatever it is you're doing right now. Because if you are not happy, you're not doing well with that in any way. So get out of wherever you are. You don't have to go to the gym. You can just stand up right where you are and run on the spot. That's what they used to teach us back in Nigeria when I was in primary school. They say, fire on the mountain, run, 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 run. And we'll run on the spot, and guess what? We'll break a sweat, and we'll go into the classroom. That was right in front of the school. So in other words, a little bit of exercise can get your brain going again. Music can get your brain going quicker than anything else. Make sure it's music that you like. That's positive too. You know, and even if it's negative, you can still get you going though, but it just don't get you going long enough, you know. But some music, some jokes. You know, find something that you can do right this very moment that can get your dopamine going again. And guess what? Practice doesn't make perfect. I want you to understand that. It never does. You know, all the perfect people are gone. You know, they're just like zombies, you know, among us. There is no such a thing. Practice makes improvement. So if you try what I'm saying now, and maybe one time you try it and then you are not happy and you say, oh, you see that chief happiness officer guy, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Folks, it doesn't work like that. You didn't get to where you are overnight, and you're not going to get out of it overnight. So practice makes improvement. And if you know that, pick some very simple things that can help your brain get towards that positivity side. Get away from the negativity side. And the further you go, folks, towards the positivity, guess what? You're going to be a happier human being. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And you don't have to know all the scientific part of the brain, although it's fascinating to know. As I was researching and preparing for this call, I got to know a little bit more about the brain. You know, the brain technology has improved so much that we now know a lot about it. So take some time, Google it, and just Google happiness and the brain. And you might be able to pick one or two things that you can do that can help your brain to be happier. One of the things that I know Again, we are social beings, right? We are human beings. Hang out with friends. Right now, if you're unhappy right this very moment, okay, if you're unhappy, you are in the office, pick up your phone, call your best friend. And they might be shocked that, hey, aren't you supposed to be at work? You get fired. Well, if you are unhappy for the long term anyway, you're going to get fired. You might as well change that. Spend a few minutes of conversation with your friend. You might get them to be happier, and you're going to leave that phone call a little bit happier. Now, keep it to like maybe 5 minutes or less, okay? In other words, we are social beings. Get social. Get fun. Get moving. And then watch what you eat also. Oh, not to forget, this is the last one. Now, you can't do this right now unless if you're in a work environment that allow you to take a little bit longer kind of break, okay? Maybe your lunchtime or something. Sleep. Sleeping allow your brain time to reclean itself. It's like garbage cleaning time. That's what happens when you are asleep. So if you deprive yourself of sleep, you're going to wake up drowsy. Not only just drowsy, you're going to wake up unhappy. Get yourself some sleep. So here is what I would suggest. If you really want to get into it, 100 billion new cells, that's a lot of brain power every one of us have. Find one or two things, maybe three, that you can do almost immediately. You start to feel yourself unhappy, you can do almost immediately to reverse that clock, to get you back. And then you start to practice it. And then you start to find out every day you get better, and then you get better, and then you get better, and then you get better. Never seek perfection, just seek getting better, seek improvement. And then guess what? Not only are you going to increase your level of happiness, you're going to be able to sustain it a little bit longer. And then your brain is going to say, you know what? I think this person likes to be more positive. I think they like to be more happy. And so we're going to set the default position now to happiness. Folks, at that point, you have arrived. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. The community does deserve it. And the world around you deserves you to be happy. And I hope that helps. Folks, if you like what you're hearing, I want to encourage you, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/AskTheCHO, that is AskTheCHO, all one word. Ask the CHO. Subscribe to the channel and go back and listen to some of the stuff we've done before. We've done quite a bit of this now over time. Find out what area that you're struggling. Look for a topic that addresses it. Take 1 or 2 minutes, learn those things, and then get good at it. But I'm telling you, if you really focus on learning some basic skills to be happy, you can be happier than you are now. And you can help us to spread that. You can share that link to people, your friends, your family, your co-workers. Because the more people that are happy, the better it's going to be for the whole world. So that's what I've got this morning, your brain and happiness. They're a good combination, and they work for you. Okay, folks, as part of our tradition, we wish each other a happy Monday. So I'm going to say 1, 2, and we wish each other a happy Monday. 1, 2.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Yay.